So you got the 4th pick overall in your fantasy football draft. What are you doing now? Let's go through some strategy tips, some picks, some tricks, some cheat sheets of how to attack the 4th pick overall in fantasy. It's draft season. Let's go. What?
Why are you shaking your head? You're welcome.
What's going on, guys? I am Graham Barfield, one of the co-owners here at the best site in all of the world, FantasyPoints.com. And today, we're going to be ripping through 4th overall pick, how to draft, some strategy, going through our cheat sheets and projections, and just kind of how we're approaching the 4th pick. It's the middle of the board. You kind of get a little bit of control at this spot. The downside of picking at the corners, if you're picking at 1 or if you're picking at 12 or 11, you kind of get boxed out sometimes. You've ever been in those drafts before? You get a little boxed out. There's quarterback runs in the mid round. You miss out on all your quarterbacks. There's a tight end run in the 5th round, and you miss out on, maybe Mark Andrews or George Kittle or somebody you were targeting. The nice part about picking in the middle of the draft is you're usually either starting or kind of being in the middle of those runs, and it's a fun spot to pick from. I like picking from the 4 spot a lot this season. I like picking from the middle of the board a lot this season. It seems like that's where, obviously it's best, easier to get the ADP values. And like I said, you don't get boxed out at certain positions. Guys, today I'm going to be using the Fantasy Points season projections cheat sheet. I got my tab open here to the PPR section. Like I said, PPR draft here. Check out fantasypoints.com/plans. Get your plan that you need today. It is cheat sheet season, baby. We are updating projections, cheat sheets, articles, everything you need to know to draft. Get your research done before your draft. Go through your mock drafts and use fantasypoints.com. All right. Picking from the 4 spot. Let's run hot today. Let's have a great draft. We're picking from the 4. We got CeeDee Lamb, McCaffrey. I'm on Ross St. Brown in the 3 spot. This league, pretty typical. 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 2 flex. Go back and rewatch the video from the 2 spot. I walk through kind of like the differences and why starting 2 receivers versus 3 receivers really increases the value of some of these running backs. And with that in mind, I'm taking a running back here. Okay, I got to decide between Bijan and Breece. I feel really good about a lot of the receivers, especially on Sleeper, that are going in those mid rounds. I think there's some very, very solid values, especially in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds. So I'm going to anchor my team with a hero running back. I personally have Bijan just slightly ahead of Breece. We have Bijan slightly projected ahead of Breece. I think it really just comes down to safety. The Jets have just a few more things that could go wrong. But that being said, Breece might be the slightly bigger bell cow. Obviously Bijan has Tyler Algier behind him. Algier is, really good, handcuff running back, probably going to get a few carries. Breece might be the bigger bell cow, might get a few extra targets. Really, it comes down to how you are projecting out Kirk Cousins to elevate this offense with Atlanta. I think the Falcons have a better offensive line. I feel a little better about Cousins. I'm taking Bijan at 4. However, if you love Breece and you're a big Breece guy, he falls to 9 here in this draft. I am perfectly fine with also taking Breece. Like I said in the 2 spot video, if this were a league where I had to start 3 receivers, I am dialing up Tyreek Hill 9 times out of 10 here. Like he has access to a ceiling that I just can't really get to if you have to start 3 receivers. I can make up for it though a little bit because I only have to start 2. All right, we're back on the clock here. Gonna definitely take a receiver. I think Deebo once again pops in this spot. Deebo has just a massive weekly ceiling. Even if Brandon Ayuk isn't traded and he's back, at worst, Deebo is a top 10, top 12 wide receiver, back end in PPR. We are very high on Deebo. Really, this comes down between Deebo and Kyren in our projections. That's really what the call is here. We've already got our hero running back with Bijan. I'm going to take Deebo. This is an amazing. Yeah, Kyron goes the very next pick. Yeah, nice little value on Kyron in this type of format. We are running hot here. We got 4 running backs that just went in the last 6 picks. So we're going to have our pick of the receivers here. Next receiver that I would want on this team is probably DJ Moore or Jalen Waddle. I also would not hate Cooper Kupp, this being a full PPR league. I think Nico makes some sense on this team. This is what I'm saying. This second or third receiver tier, especially, and you get a run out like this. You get Henry, you get ETN, Jacobs kind of, shoots about a little bit above ADP. This is a spot to pick from here. Tough call. We're going to go by projections. We're going to take DJ Moore. I love all 3 of those receivers here in this spot. All 3 of them would have made a ton of sense on this team build. I just really like DJ Moore's ceiling. We know if there's one receiver on this team that Caleb Williams is going to immediately mesh with, it's going to be DJ Moore. Oh my gosh, and we get Cooper Kupp on the way back. Wow. Kupp's ADP, man, 41.7. This is a big ADP slider. But still, this makes not a ton of sense in a full PPR league. I'm not saying Cooper Kupp's back to the top 5 fantasy wide receiver he once was. I don't think that's really possible unless Puka gets hurt and misses time. But man, oh man, we just hit the nuts here, guys. Bijan, Deebo, DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp. I wanted to maybe sneak here Devonta Smith, but that was not going to happen. Devonta Smith tanked out. Okay. At receiver, we're still looking at pretty good options here. Cooper Kupp, T. Higgins. I think both of those guys are in the same tier. I think Keenan's a tier down just because DJ Moore's, obviously such a fantastic target earner. Take a peek at these running backs. I would have taken Joe Mixon here. I think Mark Andrews. I think any of these tight ends are a little interesting. All the good quarterbacks are gone, at least. That tier's kind of gone. I'm not taking Anthony Richardson over these receivers. So the call is Cooper. Man, versus T. Higgins. I'm gonna take Cooper here. So we've got potentially 3 wide receiver, really 3 potentially really good wide receiver 2s, with the potential for Deebo to finish as a wide receiver 1. Kupp still, if you squint, I think has wide receiver upside. DJ Moore has wide receiver 1 upside, but we really have 4 very, very good wide receiver 2s here. All right, we're back on the clock, and Evan Ingram fell to us here. This would be a very, very nice pick on this team build. So would Joe Burrow, especially if we took T. Higgins. I think I'm gonna forego quarterback. And the reason for that is I'm looking at Kyler. Potentially, I'm looking at Jayden Daniels as just a screaming value at 115. I think I want to take one more, either receiver or tight end or a back here. Rhamondre would be the back. He by far projects the best. Or Rashee, man. Oh my goodness. I think I got to take Rashee. For this team, yeah, we're gonna take Rashee. He is by far the end of this wide receiver tier here in terms of projection, in terms of upside. Okay, we're taking Rashee Rice. Beautiful team. Bijan, Deebo, DJ Moore, Kupp, Cooper, and Rashee Rice. There goes Burrow and Ingram, the onesie guys that we were talking about. That's completely fine. We've got Rhamondre to come back to us. We've got Kyler to come back to us. I'm going to take Rhamondre, I think, and then we're going to play the long game and just pray that Jayden Daniels falls through here. Kyler or Rhamondre. Man, Godwin's here too. This is sleeper ADPs for receivers in this format. This is what I was saying. This is why this particular team build with the hero running back, with Bijan, with McCaffrey, with Brees, in this first round sleeper, man, just looks so good. My goodness. I would love to take Chris Godwin here. I think we're going to fill out the team, though, and take Rhamondre. Get a little fine RB2, somebody we feel pretty good about plugging in every single week, and Rhamondre. Chris Godwin in the 7th round is just absolute stealing over on Sleeper right now, though. Coming back on the clock, Diontae Johnson gets back to us. Let's go. Diontae is really high in our projections, like very, very high. Rhamondre, if you sort by just flex, Rhamondre is 46. Diontae Johnson was the next guy at 47. Godwin, a little bit lower, but Godwin a little higher in ADP, so he's kind of in that tier for me. Diontae Johnson is just a phenomenal wide receiver 6 for this team. We are going to get through Jayden Daniels or Brock Purdy. I think Daniels just has so much more upside. But we'll do a quick scan of these backs here because this is interesting. Moss is still here, even though he's obviously a part of a committee. We do not need to take a third running back because he is kind of the end of that tier, along with Chase Brown. At wide receiver, we're good. We feel great about our 5. We're kind of punting off tight end. We're going to take a couple late round guys. We didn't really get any ADP values, did we? The only one we really could have gotten is Evan Ingram, but all the tight ends, look at that. That's kind of crazy. All the tight ends went on the other side of the board here. Okay, we'll take Jayden Daniels. That was the plan the whole way. Love it when a plan comes together. And like I said, we're going to be punting, streaming some tight ends. We'll take a couple of running backs here to polish off the draft. We need some RB depth in the worst way. Oh, man, I thought Chase Brown might just fall through here. Okay, that's fine. We'll take B-Rob. B-Rob is just fine for this team. Give us a floor RB2 to maybe fill in, kind of honestly in the same vein that Rhamondre is. Eckler, did Eckler go? Let's see here. Yeah, I just wanted to see there. Next guy by our projections. Man, it might be Javonte, actually. Oh, wait, is Javonte? Yeah, Javonte is way gone. Yeah. Man, I think we'll take Ford here. He's the last of this tier. I like Rico a little bit as well as a part of this tier for this team. We'll take Ford, another playable RB2. Yeah. This team's shaping up nicely here. Earmark some late round tight ends. I am on Tyler Conklin along with John Hansen as a late round tight end. So don't mind. Let's see here. So don't mind Hunter Henry and Noah Fant. Some just streamers. We've got two spots that we can fill with a streamer type. All right. We'll take all right, we'll take Dowdle here. And double up. Take Conklin. Last round streamer in PPR. Good little team. I think if there was one issue with it, it's just tight end. We're gonna have some problems at tight end, I think, on this team. That's really the only problem. The 2 weak points I'm fine with in season-long fantasy leagues like this, where I'm okay being weakest, is RB2 and tight end. I think those are the 2 easiest positions to kind of make up points for in leagues where you have waivers. So I'm okay with doing what we did here. We'll double up. I'll take a defense. So you got to, if you're managing this league, you would be taking we took a second tight end to stream. Obviously, gonna have to cut one of these guys at the end of the year or before the season starts to get a defense in there. But good team, really good team. Like I said, I think if there was one issue, one mistake that we had, it was not really getting any of these tight ends through. I think Ingram versus Rice was really the call, but to me, Rice's upside is just so much higher than Evan Ingram. I mean, we were talking about in the 2-spot video. Rice getting cleared out for by Xavier Worthy, by Hollywood Brown. He is an absolutely phenomenal pick in the 6th round right now. But other than that, man, we really didn't have a chance to take a tight end, did we? I mean, I guess Laporta here, but we're not taking Laporta over Deebo. We could have taken Kelsey over DJ Moore, sure. But other than that, I think the rest of this team is very, very solidly built, especially around these receivers, and Jayden Daniels being the upside rushing quarterback. We need him to have the legendary rushing season. I was looking at Javonte, and he just like slipped through here. I wanted him at the probably here. He went 8-8 in this spot. He's starting to creep up a little bit. Basically, I think your plan is if you have a draft like this where you have just the one anchor running back, you're trying to play a game of chicken in a way with some of these RB2s. The way this draft in particular fell, I think if I had one pick back, it would maybe be the Diontae pick here to take Jaylen Warren or one of these backs like Zach Moss. We were looking at Moss on the clock. He was kind of the end of that tier along with Tyjae Spears and Chase Brown. I think that was maybe the one point. Like I said, really tight end. It was really just Evan Ingram versus Rashee Rice, which wasn't much of a debate for us here. So hopefully Tyler Conklin or Hunter Henry will drop one of these guys for the season, pick up a defense. But hopefully one of them pops for us. And guys, this is the strategy walking through the 4-hole. Hop in the comments. Tell me where I went wrong. Tell me where you would have done differently. And like I said, the four spot it's interesting because you get so much optionality in this draft in particular. We're obviously we ended up being very, very strong at receiver on this team, but so much optionality in the four spot, especially this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spot. Just seems like you're at least going to get one really good ADP faller in the mid round. So yeah, like I said, hop in the comments. Tell me where I went wrong, what you would have done differently. Tell me why you're taking Breece over Bijan, and we will catch you guys in the next video.